Well, hello and welcome to Old People This Week. We're back. That's Mike
Hello, everyone.
and Mr. Paul.
Hello.
Hello. We're golden. We're just not bachelors. And
That's
we're
right.
way more interesting than that idiot Mel Owens, the Golden Grifter.
Yeah.
That's what I call him. Please subscribe. If you subscribe, Mike will come by your house and read one of his poems to you. Here's a typical one that he sent to me years ago. Roses are red, violets are blue. My name is Mike, and I'm a cowboy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poetic.
This is a podcast for baby boomers and anyone else who wants to sound smart this week because we impart tons of information. You sop it up, and then you can deliver it out this weekend when you're hanging out at the golf course, the gym, or, of course, at happy hour where you'll sound smart, super smart. All right off the bat. Right, the Golden Bachelor, or as I call him, the Golden Grifter. Another episode, another depressing hour.
Oh my God! An hour I'm not going to get back in my life.
Gone. We'll start with the ladies who were lucky enough, by the way, to get on the lifeboat off this Titanic television show. And that was Roxanne, Robin, and Jerry. Roxanne and Robin barely registered with me.
Yeah, they didn't move the needle at all.
But Jerry, she was the one who got the first impression rose on the first night.
Yeah, I didn't get that though.
Yeah,
And I didn't get a moment of her in the interim.
No, he was.
There was just nothing.
He was panicked. He didn't know who to give the rose to. He just picked her out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So who's left now is Debbie, who's that fitness instructor, Cindy,
Right. Who's our
Cheryl from
our pick.
Colorado, the one and only Nicole, yoga instructor, Peg, our bomb squad lady,
Yep.
Carol from Cali, and Carol, who's the family manager for her son, who's a professional baseball player.
Yeah.
All right. But to get there, we had to go through the hour of torture of watching Mel, on these dates. And by the way, everything that we're going to talk about has to be looked at in the context that Mel doesn't give a crap about these women. He's just doing this for whatever reason.
Yeah, he's so detached.
Yeah.
He's a robot.
Like it. He moves like Frankenstein. Herman Munster.
Herman Munster's exactly.
Lurch. He's
When they were
lurch.
dancing. No, when they were
Lurch.
dancing. I said to Mary, "Oh my God, this guy dances like Herman Munster. He has no moves at all."
By the way,
No
it's
moves.
not what he was doing is not called dancing.
No,
I don't know what that was.
no. Pre-seizure. It was pre-seizure.
Seizure.
Waves like this.
Like a
Oh
child.
God.
If I had done this reality show when I was a reality show creator and executive producer, I would have got fired. So in this ridiculous show, Mel took Peg to the Orange County Fair where they
Yep.
rode rides and played games. And then they went to, ladies and gentlemen, a Casey and the Sunshine Band concert.
Which I gotta tell you,
I was going to rag all over that. And then I remembered Paul went to one.
I went last year.
Do a little dance, make a little love. Get
He
down
was.
tonight.
He was, and he is hysterical. Oh my God.
You know why the producers got him for this show, Paul? You know why. He was cheap. They was cheap.
Oh, he was
They could
cheap.
get
He
him
was
for
willing
nothing.
to do it, and he was cheap. Yeah, he's so out of shape, and I mean, he was almost falling down when I saw him
KC.
performing. Oh my God.
So this brings
But
up
you know-
another thing to the producers. After watching this show, wait a minute. I'll go into one more thing they did. Then there was this People magazine photo shoot at the beach, and where Robin, by the way, got into Mel's ear and basically trying to say Nicole is she's not in this for what you
trouble.
think she is. She's not authentic. She didn't use her name, but that's what she was implying.
Yeah.
And
he
then
didn't want to hear it.
Huh?
He didn't want to hear it.
No, he didn't want to hear it. He just like,
They're all wonderful.
yeah,
and
they're all wonderful.
Yeah.
And then Nicole, of course, was back there basically admitting that she wants to be an influencer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all about her, not about the show. Yeah.
So it's that kind of I guess that's drama, and I guess that's what they're looking for when they're editing this thing. But it's kind of silly. It's didn't really.
I
mean,
really
we
think
kinda
there's
figured that.
there's a line there. I mean, I think they could have easily. a lot of these shows are in the editor's control, as we all know. I mean, it's like to leave it in was a choice. I mean, they could easily have left it out, right? And not even had that conversation and just played along like, oh, it's all romance.
It's the only drama they got. I'll get into that.
Yeah.
Here, all right. So this basically is this recap is not a recap because I don't even want to talk about it. But I want to give some notes to the producers. First of all, they don't seem to have any idea of what boomers are like, especially boomer men, or what we want to do. So here it is, guys. Here's what next year when you have another bachelor, do this. You want to get the bachelors, meet their dates, get drunk at happy hour, drive down to Tijuana, get tattoos, get thrown into a Mexican jail and get your head shaved off, then come back across the border and I don't know, and then do something else wild. But I'll tell you what they do. It doesn't have anything to do with lemon bars. You don't need lemon bars.
Oh my God.
Those poor women.
That was so lame.
Do it like they do with those young bachelors. They go down to Bachelors in Paradise. Let these
All over the world.
let us boomers have some fun.
I'm
There's
going to
no
say
fun in this show.
there is no fun in it. I agree with you, Jeff. There's completely no, and I think it's all budget driven. I think they're trying to get something out of it, and it's just not delivering.
Right. It's cheap television that they put together in order to get this. Well, just to go on with that theme. So they said, or at least one of the recaps I was looking at said, this is the third episode, and they're halfway through, which means that they're correct. There's only 6 episodes. Okay.
Yeah.
So I went and I Googled from Jerry Turner's. They did 9 episodes last for him, plus the wedding special. That means they're in the edit bay. They have nothing.
Nothing.
They can't even figure out a way to do barely 6 episodes. And that means they're not selling as much advertising. They're not getting 9 episodes of advertising. So they are in they're in dire straits. They don't know what to do. They're just trying to get done with this thing. And figure out what to do next.
Yeah. Their only hope is that Nicole blows up and just becomes a total flaming asshole and alienates all the other women, and which she's on her way to doing. But
at this point, I would honestly, if I had Mel's ear, I'd call him up and say, Mel, ask her to be the bride, because it's a fake marriage anyways. You guys can start a podcast together. This is all you want, is to be both social media stars. You can make a lot of money, and then you guys can dump each other down the road when the ratings go down.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
All right. Any other?
Who do you think's in the running?
I'm still like Peg, like I said the first time, so I'm not going to give up on it. He's got to make a show of that there's some kind of validity to this thing. Like I just said, you should marry Nicole. I'm joking there because they're clearly two scammers, but you got to try to at least make this thing look somewhat legit, that he wants to marry somebody he might have someone in common with. So I would say the last 2. Who's left?
I think Cindy is in there for sure. I think Cindy and Peg are the ones who are like the final
Cindy
2.
And Peg. That's who you and I both said that last week. So the odds are still on. Mike, who do you like? Probably somebody who left.
No. I think I actually thought the sequence with Peg. With the 2 of them at the fair, they actually looked like they were having a good time.
Yeah,
That
I
looked
agree.
fairly natural to me.
Fair enough. That's a good point.
And she seems pretty stable throughout the whole thing.
All right, let's root for Peg then. Maybe she'll. And if by the way, if he doesn't marry her, she'll probably put a bomb in the wedding suite.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised Cindy could even walk after he rolled over her on the beach doing his Burt Lancaster.
She's in traction watching the show back. Man. So what's ahead for us is the home visits, right?
Oh my God.
That's all going to be a fiasco. Well, it won't be, because he's going to be as phony as hell to all of them. He'll just be Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah.
No, there's not going to be nothing else. Yeah. All right, boys, that's a good recap. And now let's get on with the rest of the show, especially our dear friend, Mr. Mark Sanchez, and his troubles. This story, by the way, this keeps getting better and better.
This really has to be drawn on like a piece of paper to fully understand it. I swear to God, I've read it 3 times and I still don't get.
There's no understanding it.
No.
So first of all, he was a quarterback. I think he was a quarterback for SC, and he went on to be with the New York, I think with the Jets, and he ends up, and now he's doing a podcast for Fox. So he's, and he's married. His wife just had kids recently.
Yeah, and he's a color commentator on NFL games. I mean, those are
Yeah.
big jobs. Those are good
That's
jobs.
what he was doing in Indianapolis. Yeah.
All right. So I figured that's why he was in Indianapolis for work.
Yeah.
And then I figured he's at this hotel because he's got to stay somewhere when he's in Indianapolis. He's at this hotel.
Right.
But this is where the story gets bizarre. So some dude, I'm not even going to say his name, but he pulls up in the back at 1:30 a.m. in a truck, and his job is to collect these vats of used grease that was grease used by the kitchen at this hotel, and that's all he was there for. He's going to get it, he's going to put it in his truck, he's going to go. But he gets there, and Mark Sanchez is standing on the loading dock for some incredible reason at 1:30 in the morning, and he starts yelling at the guy, saying, "You can't park here, you can't do this." And the guy said at first, he goes, "I thought Sanchez was the manager because he was dressed nice."
Yeah.
But Sanchez kept getting crazier and crazier and comes over and starts getting in this guy's face. And then the guy says, "He's drunk. I can tell he's drunk. He's slurring his words and he stinks." Then Sanchez tries to get into the cab of this truck a couple of times, and he pushes the guy around. And the guy finally has it, and the dude sprays Sanchez with the mace in the face.
Yeah, pepper spray. Yeah.
And then he says that he goes, "I sprayed him with pepper spray," and he backed up, and then he started coming back after me again. So that was it for this dude. He grabbed his knife and started stabbing.
Jesus.
And then at the end of the story that I just read about a half hour ago, Sanchez stopped and looked down at himself, stunned that he's bleeding all over the place, and he turned and he staggered back into the hotel.
Yeah, you couldn't invent this story. I mean,
No, and the guy has already gone out, and I read this story like only within the last hour that, he's already gone and he's got an attorney and he's suing, Sanchez and Fox Broadcasting and everyone and their mother. He's already got this thing lined up within 24 hours practically.
oh, no shit. Yeah, I mean, come on. He should sue the hotel, too, for lack of security on the loading dock.
I can't.
Letting drunk guests on the loading dock at night.
I gotta tell you, I've stayed in Indianapolis where the Westin is, and it is. I mean, there's like a main drag, and the hotels are all on, the restaurants and all that stuff. Everything is right there, but I can guarantee you, there is nothing going on in Indianapolis at 1:30 in the morning in the back of a hotel or on the street.
Well,
I mean,
what was open was the bar, evidently, because he was liquored up.
Yeah, and that's about all that is there to have. I mean, it's a truly bizarre story.
So Sanchez, who was hospitalized with critical injuries, was arrested on 3 misdemeanor battery with injury, unlawful entry of a motor vehicle, and public intoxication. The victim was not arrested. But I read, again, in this article I just read, that they've upgraded the charges to felony.
There's one felony count against him now.
He's in trouble now.
Yeah, the
Now he's
network's
got a
going to
problem.
drop him. The network will drop his ass in a heartbeat.
Well, he's a liability. I mean, if your talent is out there getting drunk and attacking people or getting knifed up, then you're not going to want him around on your NFL team.
Yeah, and you're named in the lawsuit.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark.
Whoever his boss is right now. They're with the lawyers and HR people. They're trying to figure out how to gently get him the hell out of the Fox building.
Yeah.
All right. So forget that his problems. Here's another guy with problems. P. Diddy. So Diddy finally, we've been talking about this thing for a year and a half. He finally gets sentenced to 4 years and 2 months in jail.
Not enough.
I agree. It wasn't enough. Not for that. Just that video alone of him kicking that woman in the hallway. He should have got 10 years for that.
Yeah. Well, maybe now he'll get to experience what it's like to get this shit beat out of him and raped a couple of times a day.
He's going to be in such isolation, nobody will be able to get near him. But I did read that he may be out as soon as 2 years. He's not going to serve that full sentence.
No.
So I don't know if he's going to be a changed man, or if he's going to get out of there and everything's good. And
Please.
I just don't see it.
I think he's already been in for a year already, time served. And I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's been in serving it at Rikers. So
he's been
it hasn't been exactly paradise,
No, he says he doesn't have hot water, and he says that there's roaches and everything all over the place, and he feels dangerous, he can't sleep, and that I didn't see pictures of him, but the drawings of him from the court the other day, he's gray. He looks like he's 60 years old.
Yeah.
One of us now. One of the old guys now. Welcome
Yes.
to Boomer Land. Mike, you're a rapper. You have any beefs against P. Diddy?
He's a jerk. No, total waste. No. See, my successful rap career was based on the fact that I could get through an entire performance without grabbing my crotch.
Nobody wants to see you grab your crotch. I agree.
No, they
absolutely
didn't.
nobody.
And that's why I was hugely famous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, another one of your buddies from that rap world, Bad Bunny, is going to perform at the Super Bowl. I don't get it because he does nothing for me. I don't understand it. I don't know why. Who's behind this decision making?
He does nothing for the NFL. He does nothing for football. I mean,
but there has to be a reason. So the only reason that I can
sure.
concoct is that it appeals to a demographic that they're chasing down to get viewers. They want viewers. They don't want the NFL, the Super Bowl, to age out to where it's just old people watching it. So they have young artists, and that's it. That's what it is.
I believe that this is a case of it's really going global now. There are more NFL games played this season overseas. I mean, it's been about one a month. I think they've been playing from an international market. There was just one from, I think, Ireland.
Cleveland. My Browns just played.
Yeah, your Browns. And they're in England, of course, and they've been in Germany. And they started off in Brazil. That's where this first one was. Yeah. And I think that, if I'm not mistaken, this is the global takeover of now. They figured, you know what I mean, it's not so hard on a team to travel them across the Atlantic to somewhere. It's like they're really going after these global markets because they've already maximized what the American market is.
The Vikings are actually staying in England for 2 weeks. They're playing 2 games over there.
There you go.
Two
There you go.
consecutive weekends. The Browns are one of them. Browns are on their way back now. That's a long flight after you get beat in the last minute. Where you have to.
And I think the same thing's going on with the NBA. I think those are it's another league that's highly expansion oriented.
Yeah, they should be. The soccer is showing the way. Soccer is pervasive. It's everywhere.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
in every market.
Absolutely.
And the NFL's going to look. And by the way, the games in England are played at Tottenham Stadium, a soccer stadium that was partially funded, this new stadium, by the NFL, so they can shrink and have a shorter, smaller field for the NFL.
Yeah.
So that's everybody's part and party with this thing.
Yeah, I mean, they got such deep pockets. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to see, there's bands I'd like to see, like I mentioned, Grand Funk Railroad. If they were playing at the Super Bowl, I'd go.
Not going to happen. Yeah.
My captain, oh my captain.
Oh, they're not even doing the pre. They're not even doing the pregame at 6 a.m.
Did you guys buy Taylor Swift's "Life of a Showgirl"?
Nope.
Well, neither did I, because I don't know anything about Taylor Swift other than, you can't not know who she is.
Of course.
But, I went out and bought my Devo album, 50 Greatest Hits by Devo, so I'm happier than if I had a Taylor Swift album. But you can check these numbers out, though. The Life of a Showgirl sold 2.7 million copies in U.S. on its first day of release.
Yeah.
2.7 million one day. And then this is her 12th studio album, and it also set a record for the most vinyl album copies sold in a single week with 1.2 million. So that's vinyl. I mean, that's old school. That's be like when I was a kid, go to buy a Beatles vinyl album, and they never sold 1.2 million in a week, I guess. So she's done it.
Yeah, well, all the scuttlebutt is vinyl coming back, and you see the high-end stereo sales are going nuts. And
I have a vinyl collection here. I have not an expensive, but one of those cheapy turntables.
Sure.
That it folds up into like a little suitcase thing, and you open it up and you can put a record in there.
Yeah.
So the sound quality is not very good, but I do have some vinyl records that I play every once in a while to drive Valerie crazy. She's not really into Grand Funk Railroad. All right.
I knew I liked her for.
So anyway, I don't know anything about Taylor Swift's music, but I know that of the three of us, I'm the only guy who's actually seen her live.
You're wrong. You're so wrong. You're so wrong. 10
No, I
years
saw
ago.
her.
No, 10
I went
years
down
ago.
to when I was an executive at Comcast, they held a big giant company meeting down in Texas, and the speakers were people like Colin Powell and Oprah Winfrey. They went crazy, and one of the night's entertainment was at a ranch. Basically, everybody was given cowboy boots and cowboy hats and stuff. And we went there, and the entertainment was a 16-year-old girl by the name of Taylor Swift, who nobody knew.
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
And she came out there and she sang country music. She had a country dress and the whole thing.
Yeah,
Everyone's
she-
had to start
that's where she
somewhere.
Started her career. Mary and I were invited to the CMAs about 10 years ago. And when we had backstage passes to everything, and it was really a great event. And it was a great 4 days we spent there. But we did get a meter, and we got a private invite to a songwriters night one night. And she was there along with a couple others, and it was just incredible. But she's something. She's very smart cookie.
Very
smart
cool.
Cookie, superstar.
Yeah.
Man, all right. And if you guys weren't aware of the news of Lori Loughlin and her husband Massimo Giannulli,
Yeah, this
You
was
know who
great.
those
I
two
love
are.
this. Yeah.
yeah.
The circle.
So Lori
comes
Loughlin,
all around.
Lori Loughlin is an actress, and she was on what was it, Full House, with, by the way, the late great Bob Saget. Did you
Yeah.
ever, Paul, work with Bob Saget?
I did not. I cannot
Okay, I'm
think
going
of
to tell this real quick. The Bob Saget that you saw on air as a dad with
Oh,
his
yes.
kids,
Yes,
is the Bob Saget TV, the real Bob Saget, and everybody knows this. so I'm not
foul-mouthed,
saying that.
yeah.
He was a foul-mouthed maniac. He was a dirty, filthy, and he did it all the time. As soon as the camera was off, he would start ripping on something. He was incredible.
Yeah.
And that's Bob Saget. But anyway, Lori Loughlin was on that. She was on the follow-up show on that. It was called Fuller House later on, and then she did some Hallmark movies. She just started drifting away. She gets married to this guy Massimo, who's a fashion designer. He's got a line, and they have kids. They have two girls, Isabel Rose and Olivia Jade. Oh, man.
Yeah. Dumb as a doorknob.
Yeah. And they grow up, and then by the time they're 18, both of them what they do is they're influencers, especially Jade. And she's a YouTuber who does tutorials on makeup, basically.
Oh.
And she got to be big. She was sponsored by like things like Revlon and stuff. She was a big
Sure.
influencer. Then it comes time, mom and dad want her to go to college, her and her sister. So problem is the girls are not, don't have a lot of going on in between their ears. So what do we do? What did they do? Well, they spent $500,000. They gave it to that guy. What's his name?
He was indicted.
Rick Singer, who was
Yeah.
who was the guy behind that whole scam. And what he was like a middleman, and he would go to SC, and he would set up these charities to where Lori and her husband would put the money into. Some of the money eventually went to him, and some went to some unscrupulous person at SC, who then brought them in. They were allowed to go to SC on scholarships for crew.
The rowing team.
The rowing team, with neither of them had ever even been on one of those Skull or whatever they're called, those little boat, little things. They didn't know what they were. They were just going to college there.
Yeah.
Well, the Varsity Blues scandal happened. They got busted. Lori Loughlin went to jail. So did the husband and the girls.
It wasn't just this family. This was across like 10 families.
And by the way, he wasn't much of a thief. But as soon as the cops came to him, he just started ratting out everybody.
He rolled on
He
everybody.
rolled over.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to take that.
Here's my contact list.
He set him up. He became like a
Yeah.
rat, and he set up all these people, and let the FBI listen in on all his phone calls, and then they had them all. So that's it.
That was a mess.
Okay, that's funny though. Lori. We need some more subscribers, Mike. Why don't you do some makeup tutorials starting next week?
I could do that haircut and makeup tutorial.
I've been begging you to have Mary tape you cutting that bald head of yours, and we could show it on the air. And you're right; people would go nuts
It would
for
be
it.
spellbinding. It would be
Spellbinding.
because people are dying to know how this level of perfection is achieved.
Oh my God!
So-
You know what star you look like as the years go by? You look like that guy Curly from the Three Stooges. That's what it's starting to look like with that short hair, right, Paul?
I wasn't born yet. No, and Curly. What are you referring to?
Curly.
I know not of which you speak.
I'm gonna. Right now, I'm showing a picture of Curly.
Okay.
Right next to Mike's head, so you'll see how much they look alike.
I look like David Letterman without a beard. That's what I look like.
Ooh.
What?
What?
Yeah, I used to get stopped in the airport when I was traveling a lot.
Really?
You think you look like David Letterman?
Well, I did when I was younger, and I didn't have these healthy jowls.
Huh.
Healthy jowls. I don't know. I think you're actually. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I think you're better looking than that fool ever was in his life. At any rate, Charlize Theron.
Yes.
I'm going to show a picture of her right here.
Wowza.
This is her stepping out in Paris in a daring Givenchy top made entirely out of gems. She's 50 years old. Amazing. But there has to be a but for me to do this story.
Of course.
Not the physical butt, by the way, but the transitional butt.
Yeah, you wish the physical butt.
She looks a little bit Ozempic.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think she's touched the Ozempic. And I hope she doesn't, because I don't want her to go all Madonna on us and look like that freak.
That would never happen. She even if she started now, she couldn't degrade herself. It would be like
Yeah, Madonna looks scary.
Yeah,
Scary.
Well, my wife used to run marketing and advertising for a women's apparel company called BB, and they used to be big national brand, and they were headquartered in L.A. And one of the first models Mary hired back in the day was Charlize Theron.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's a good.
Mary's got good eyes.
yeah,
Good eye.
yeah.
Good eye by Mary. You probably didn't see it though, did you?
I wasn't in the eye at the time.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not even going to ask about that. All right. Okay. So, you guys, either you?
But I was very curious when I heard the Wizard of Oz was there the other month.
Take special care of those ruby stickers. I want those most of all.
Those monkeys are flying around.
Yeah.
This triggers every bad memory of my life and every reason that we talk about monkeys and stuff on this show, how they terrify me. But flying monkeys is super terrifying for me. I mean, they make me want to cry. They do. Because I think I was scared as a kid. I saw this on TV when I was a little boy, and it was the dun 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 dun, and there's monkeys flying all over the place.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My mother scared me.
I thought for sure you were going to bring up some story about going to the zoo in Ashtabula and never.
No zoo in Ashtabula. That zoo was called. My grade school was the zoo. Ashtabula. Oh my God! You guys have no idea what that was like.
Well, the one thing about the sphere and those kinds of visuals, I get terribly motion sick.
You'd be barfing all over the place.
And I think I'd be in a world of hurt watching.
Yeah,
it.
you'd have to be looking at the floor quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to take it.
Yeah.
But by the way, it's probably they probably have a lot of warnings out in front before you go in there.
I think they do.
ready.
Yeah.
I bet they do.
Yeah, this friend of mine, the reason I brought this whole thing up is that he and his wife went to see the Eagles there last week.
Cool. Yeah.
And he posted about 100 pictures on Facebook of them in there while the Eagles are playing. And the Eagles are on stage, but they're surrounded by visuals that pertain to the songs or old
Very
videos
cool.
of them. And somebody was telling me that they saw, who was it? That there was McCartney evidently performed there and did a live duet with John Lennon in a way that they sunk up Lennon and he. Anyway, it's supposed to be amazing, and that's
Technology on this front is amazing. I went in London to go see the I think what's it called, ABBA Live. There's an ABBA concert that
ABBA.
that is brought up to modern day, so it's the old with the new, but it's all done technology. So you're watching what you think to be is a live concert in front of you. The screens are amazing. And if I left so convinced that every old artist is just going to be brought back in a concert now by this system. They're going to bring back Michael Jackson. They're going to bring back the Beatles. They're going to bring back every group and, have them in arenas. The technology is insane.
I'll go see Grand Funk Railroad when they bring them back. Dancing Queen, what a scene, only 17.
I've got to go, Paul.
Dancing Queen. Oh, man, I could sing all the ABBA songs. And that's ABBA, by the way, not ABBA. Where are you from?
ABBA, sorry.
It's ABBA. It's not ABBA. Nobody ever says ABBA.
ABBA.
Though, in Europe, by the way, they don't say Adidas.
Adidas.
They say Adidas. Correct, Amundo, Michael. They say Adidas. Because that was how they pronounce it over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to what we do best is making fun of Gen Z. So Gen Z drinkers have bartenders frustrated with shrinking tips as this terrible, as it was put, trend emerges. So this guy named Derek Brown, who's a hospitality consultant, says, you should tip a bartender 20%.
Yeah.
He goes, that's what tip should be good. Now, I understand if you get poor service, you can knock that down to 18%. I get that. Well, that's bull crap, Derek. Because, by the way, if you are drinking out, like if Mike and I are in happy hour, and happy hour gets over with, and we're looking at our bill, neither one of us can figure out what 18% of anything is.
No.
20% we can,
Round up.
20% we can sort of get to. Like, oh, yeah, I think that's about 20%, but 18, that's a fool's errand. Anyways, Derek, and I like how he says that. But you can, if you get poor service, you knock it down 2%. I'll tell you what happens. If I get poor service, I knock it down more than 2%.
Yeah, you cut it in half. It's much
And
easier
that, by
to
the
negotiate.
and you know what constitutes good service, and when you're a retired boomer, is a good pour. You want those glasses full of alcohol.
Yeah. Short pour in a big glass really pisses you off.
It was like that restaurant that you and I, Mike, went to, and that guy, they make those martinis in those tiny little glasses, and we were looking at the waiter like, really?
Yeah.
That's why you miss the days of, like, you remember Jeff Musso and Frank's and Hollywood Boulevard where you'd get a sidecar, you'd get your drink and you'd have a sidecar with it.
I go up there, we used to take up there, what was that dude's name? Eric Boardman and I took this guy, that writer. He used to write for the old L.A. for the
LA
Times.
Weekly.
And anyway, we went there. We would go to Musso's and sit at the bar, order martinis, and act all important as though John Wayne and Cary Grant were going to walk in there any minute. Okay. Here's the story. Mike, I knew I had this down here. The infamous most hated mom in Europe or in the UK, right?
In the UK, yeah.
Yeah. Her name is Carla Bellucci. So she's most hated. Now, I think she gave herself that title, but she got it at least after she started charging people 150 pounds, not dollars, by the way, but pounds, to come to a Christmas dinner. And so she became
At
this
her private
reviled.
home. These were her relatives.
Yeah.
Not
Hey,
people
Mom, you
off
owe
the
me
street.
$150.
Yeah.
I like it.
And she said, but the reason for this story was not about her being the most hated woman or her charging people to come to her house. It was that she and her husband, she claims, are having sex like rabbits. By the way, I've never seen a rabbit have sex, and I don't want to either. But
It doesn't last long.
And she says she's concerned about Gen Z being prude, quote unquote. Gen Zers aren't interested in sex anymore. And I find that really sad, she shared. All they seem to care about is their phones and comparing their lives to someone else's on social media that isn't real. Well, we agree with you there because that's exactly what happens. These kids don't know what they're doing, and they forget about sex. They got their head stuck in that phone. And yes. All right. So, Carla, we agree with you there. Thank you very much for making our point.
I've been seeing a lot on Twitter and other places that Generation Z is increasingly sex negative. And that's not to say that more Gen Z people are, like, increasingly asexual. It's just that they tend to be sexless and very sex negative.
Okay.
On a global scale.
All right. And now's that time of the show. It's the most, I know it's disturbing to people, and people are right now, even as I introduce it, people all over the United States are shutting down their computers and starting to weep uncontrollably. But here's Mike with Via con Dios.
My thousands and thousands of followers move closer to their screens, hold their phones closer to see what comes
Go ahead,
from
Mike.
the annals of the dearly departed.
You're just wasting more airtime. Keep going there.
So first is Tina Turner's son, Ike Turner Jr.,
Yeah.
passed away, kidney failure at the age
It
of
wasn't kidney
67.
failure. It wasn't kidney failure at all. You know how he died? He saw that stupid statue of his mother they put up.
And then his
this
kidneys
thing.
gave out.
He went down there, went to Bronzeville, Texas, walked up there to see that statue, and went, and he fell over dead.
That was terrible.
right,
And then Russell Nelson died at the age of 101. He was the president of the Church of Latter-day Saints.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care.
Saw that.
Yes, dude. Though I did see that play about them. That was funnier than hell.
It was funny as hell. And then finally, Jilly Cooper, 88. She was a famous British novelist, wrote very risque books, best known for the Rut Shore Chronicles, portrayed the sex lives of the well-off horse riding community in Britain in the 1980s.
Okay. It was a slow week for death, wasn't it, Mike?
It sure was. I mean, people are living too long. They're impacting our segment here.
This next video will show the reaction that most people have when they have to listen to Mike's Via con Dios. This is a video that was taken in an airplane in which suddenly, uncontrollably, was a weird smell.
Whoever is farting, don't fart, please. It smells bad.
You can only guess.
You have to tell. But see, the thing about flying in an airplane, and I'll let Paul explain this a little further, but it's a communal experience, and everybody's got to behave. There can't be the one bad apple because you're all in there, stuck in there together. So if you're the guy with the stomach that's upset and you got to let loose every once in a while, then everybody's got to suffer.
Those lavatories on planes are just paper thin walls, people. They're just like, it's just like pooping in a shower curtain. You know what I mean? It's like when you're on a crew and you're back there in the galley, which is generally always next to the restroom.
I would make it. You should
and I
not
got
be allowed to go number 2 on any flight. They should be fined. They should just make it so you can only do. You can't.
Which of course gets away from the smell factor to the like. There is no one ever who should walk to the bathroom in bare feet. I'm just telling you here right now. When I used to see little kids run back, and I used to say, "You go back and you tell your mom to put your socks and your shoes on, and then you can come back and go to the bathroom." When you go to put in the bathroom, if you ever see the coffee ground bag on the door, there's a reason, because the coffee is to absorb the smell. It's the same thing of like, I would not recommend. I would not recommend.
Right here at the house, you'll see the coffee bag hanging up on
It's like that woman a few episodes ago we talked about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was in that bathroom, and she was. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember her. She had that. She had that massive attack and barely made it. And didn't even. They allowed her to stay in the bathroom while they landed the plane.
Trust me, I would do the exact same thing. I'd be like, "You'll be fine in here. Just stay there.
Just hold on to something. You'll be fine.
Don't come out."
Okay. Other news of the weird in San Francisco. Police in Northern California were understandably perplexed when they pulled over a Waymo taxi after it made an illegal U-turn, only to find no driver behind the wheel and therefore no one to ticket. Right. They didn't think of this, did they?
Yeah.
No, and that's the reason I'm never getting in one.
Well, that's the reason I'm never going to get in front of one, because they'll run you over, and then what's going to happen? There's nobody to even arrest.
I like the fact that it did my number one violation that I choose to do.
What?
Make a U-turn on a street.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those U-turns.
I do. I used to make them on Ventura Boulevard and everything. Like I look both ways, and then I go, okay.
Yeah, they'll get you on that one. That's an expensive one too.
I got pulled over in Charleston last week with there was a backup, and I decided that I was going to make a left turn, and there were all these people in line, about 3 deep, and I just decided to come on to the oncoming lane and make a left turn. And the guy followed me. I didn't see him behind me. He comes up and he's following, and only me can I make the excuse. I said, buddy, I've lived in Charleston for 5 years. And I said, honestly, it's the slowest place in the world. And I said, I spent 40 years in Los Angeles, and that's just normal. And he let me go. He let me go.
The stuff that I've seen in Los Angeles when I was living there, incredible.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Okay, and finally, one last Gen Z story to piss you off, literally piss you off. 2 teenage boys filmed themselves urinating into a restaurant hot pot broth. Have been ordered along with their parents to apologize and pay a fine of, get this, £227,000. So, yeah.
Good.
Chinese state media said the pair, both 17, and named Wu and Tang.
Of course.
The Wu-Tang Gang. Of course they were named Wu and Tang. Took turns standing on a table and urinating into a dish at a private dining room at a branch of the Haidoleo restaurant chain in Shanghai.
Nice.
And they got busted. You know what they did?
Lucky they weren't thrown in prison.
Yeah. Well, they you know how stupid they are? They posted it on social media.
Yeah, brilliant.
And then people went nuts. They said, what do you mean you're in there pissing? And we go to that
Yeah.
restaurant. And the restaurant said, that's it. You know, they went out. So
This ain't no Cracker Barrel. Yeah.
The restaurant was empty the next day.
Yeah,
He had no reservations.
Okay. With that, we are going to say goodbye. Got to subscribe, as I mentioned. If you subscribe, Mike will come by the house and read you one of his poems. They're not that good, but they are entertaining.
Cowboy Serenade.
Yeah.
Serenade you go. Get along, little doggies. Get along. And write to us at oldpeoplethisweek@gmail.com. We're here and waiting for your comments so that we can tell
send
you
us
what
a
to
comment.
do.
We've been dry for a while. We haven't heard from people lately, have we?
Well, you know, also the weird thing is that the comments now are not comments. They're actually like bot ads and stuff. They're weird. They're not people writing to me and saying whether this and that. But I'll check again. I didn't look this week. You can call us at 310-800-1830. And as I've said before, we're standing by. We're there 24 hours a day. Mike's got the late shift tonight. And you can call, and we'll tell you what you need to know. Anything.
Yeah, let it ring a few times.
Yeah. And then Mike will read you a bedtime story. Yeah.
Wake him up from his sleep.
I might be out on the loading dock directing traffic, but just let it ring a couple times.
Mark Sanchez is probably sitting somewhere right now with his head in his hands saying, what the hell have I done? I've wrecked my whole life over this getting hammered, after the Indianapolis game.
Over a truck full of used cooking grease. Jesus Christ, Mark.
He was
Could have been a
striking
Brinks
about
truck or something, but
he was like angry at the guy going, you can't park here. And he kept, hey, what a nut.
Weird.
And check out our Substack, 52tasks.substack.com. There was not one last week. There will be one this week. And right now, we're going to say adios and then hello to Reese, who's got the Old People Quote of the Week. So thank you very much.
adios.
Later.
Here's the Old People This Week quote of the week. Being president is like being a jackass in a hailstorm. Lyndon Baines Johnson.